Welcome to Talk of the Town, presented by Tree City Sports. I am your host, CJ McClure. Thank you guys so much for joining us again today. Once again, we're rocking the shirt made by AM Creations in Ottawa, Kansas. Do not forget to go like and subscribe to all of their social pages. This morning, I had to stop by and get my morning drink from Arrowhead Nutrition. This one is called the Citrus Tiara. Super good, as are all of their fantastic products. And got a gift from Jared and his crew. Some new swag from Arrowhead Nutrition. Super stoked on that, and we will be wearing that later today. And I want to give a shout out to our friend Royal's mom at RJN Photography. If you mention this show at the time of your booking, she'll give you 25% off. So do not forget to go check them out. Now let's get into the news for today. We could do an entire hour-long special on this very easily, and it would not take much effort at all, because this is just a crazy idea. But in this situation, crazy may be necessary. The Big 12 is exploring selling naming rights to the conference for a 20% stake in the conference. Now that's kind of exciting. The revenue that would bring in, we're not going to dive into all the details because that's all boring stuff and we don't need to hear about that. But the potential here puts them right there with the Big Ten and the SEC and could potentially bring them way ahead. The potential here is incredible. The thing that I will say is selling the naming rights to the conference could go really well or really bad in terms of the name they pick. But I believe Brett Yormark is going to choose something that actually sticks out and the fans really enjoy, because I think he is committed to making the fans and the rest of all the teams in the Big 12 happy. And I think that he is doing an amazing job with everything, the way he's going about every single thing he's doing. Exploring this option is a crazy thing, but it's necessary to keep up with the Big Ten and the SEC. I don't see a problem with it in terms of financial stability, because what this is going to do in terms of financial stability is help the Big 12 make sure that they are a power conference no matter what happens in the future. It's a deal, man. And as fans, we like to think of all the exciting things that we could have. There was a lot of really cool names that were floated around, on Twitter and online after this was announced. One that really popped to me, yes, you'll get that, was they had so much success with the Pop-Tart Bowl. Let's name it the Pop-Tart Conference or something along the Pop 12. Let's name it the Pop 12, because that would be awesome. Like I said, the exposure that we got from the Pop-Tart Bowl and the brand exposure that Pop-Tart got from that, it could be an exciting possibility there. There was also someone that floated around the idea that even though they're not as financially stable as what you would hope for in a deal like this, Southwest Airlines. Someone had mentioned Southwest Airlines as a sponsor, and what we could have from that, they could rename it the Southwest Conference. Actually, to be honest with you, I love the tradition of the Big 12, and to me, it's like the Sprint Center, T-Mobile Center. It's like the Sandstone. It's it's always going to be the Big 12 to us fans. No matter what, it's going to be the Big 12. But I think in terms of naming rights, the Southwest Conference is probably one of the best names that has been floated around. And that's kind of a fun possibility. But like I said, it's probably not feasible because of the financial position that they are in compared to these other companies that are looking into it. And we've got a front runner that is hardcore going after this and trying to get a deal done, and that is Allstate. Allstate is a big company and wants to get their hands in it. I don't know what the name would look like. I don't know if you would call it the Allstate 12, the Big Allstate Conference. Who knows? Who knows what you actually call it? But in terms of the name, unless they do something that is completely different, the name will not be as great and as memorable as the Big 12. That is the only issue with that. Allstate would bring in a lot of money and a lot of revenue that it would make up for that 20% of the revenue that the Big 12 gives out to the company that gets the naming rights. It would be a fun deal. Like I said, it just wouldn't be I bet that Brett is going to come up with something. If they change the name of the conference, Brett's going to come up with something that's really, really good and that pleases the fans because he's a people person. You can tell by his actions and his dedication to making sure the Big 12 lasts as long as possible and is the absolute best conference in the nation is absolutely insane. Look at the teams we've added. I mean, let's be real here. We're not adding little nobody teams. We're not picking up the scraps that the SEC and the Big Ten want. We're going after the big names. And when we added Utah, Arizona, Arizona State, and Colorado, the four corner schools, those are quality schools that add depth to this conference. Even if we lost Oklahoma and Texas, we're just as strong now as we were with those two in the conference. It's crazy to think that in his time in the Big 12 as commissioner, the things that he has done and is continuing to do, we are so supportive of him because he is doing the best things for the conference of the Big 12. And as fans, as Big 12 fans, that's exactly what we want to see from our commissioner. He doesn't want to fade into mediocrity. He wants to take the league by the NCAA by storm and crush this. And he is absolutely crushing it. We love to see the things he is doing up there. I mean, it's awesome. The Big 12 is headed in a great direction. And the way things are headed, the Big 12, it's going to end up being a Power 3 struggle. And it's going to be the Big 10, the SEC, and the Big 12 forever. I think the Big 12 is here to stay, and that's just how it goes. And again, I think they really needed to compete with the Big 10 and the SEC in terms of revenue. But I think that the teams that he is trying to get to join the conference and that the teams that are exploring joining the conference and have talked to the Big 12 about joining, we're going to add great depth to the Big 12 very shortly. Again, I don't think it's imminent that it's going to be within days. We're not moments away from learning any details. It's going to take time. But I really think that by the end of the year or before football season starts in 2025, the Big 12 will have announced that they have added several new members. And that's a wonderful thing for not only the Big 12, but for the schools that we add, to bring them into a great conference like this that cares so much about the teams that are in it. It's awesome to see. And as Big 12 fans, we will welcome all of these teams and all of their fans to the family. The Big 12 is one big happy family. So come join us. We'll have you. You know, we love talking to fans from other teams and learning their perspectives, how they feel about all this stuff. I cannot wait to see what happens in the next year, 6 months to a year. It's going to be amazing for not only the Big 12, but any school that we add to the Big 12. And I think that what this really, really means is that we are about to see a huge shift in realignment. I think that Brett's about to go for the ACC schools, all of them that he wants, he can get. I feel there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that if he really wanted a team to join the Big 12, he'll convince them. They'll see the growth that we've had. They'll see the potential that the Big 12 has. And any team that's considering joining will look at just how strong, top to bottom, the Big 12 is all around. And it's such a magical thing. We cannot wait to see what the future of the Big 12 holds. And we can't wait to see what ACC schools we bring in. We're going to bring in some really, really good depth and really great teams with great fan bases. Everything about the Big 12 is getting better and better and better. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are talking about how much they don't want the naming rights. Well, it's necessary in this situation to close the gap there in revenue. And that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to close that gap in revenue completely, if not cause the Big 12 to surpass the Big 10 and the SEC eventually. It's not going to be right away. It's not going to be within the first 3 years. It's going to take a few years to do so. But I can see a situation where the Big 12 is the conference to beat in everything. And it has all to do with Brett Yormark and the aggressiveness and the passion he has for the Big 12. His dedication to keeping the Big 12 a power conference is absolutely amazing. What he is doing is just so wonderful. And the teams that we are adding and going to add do nothing but make this conference stronger. And any team looking to join the Big 12, know you're joining what is going to be the toughest conference in the nation in almost every single sport. I see a situation where we end up growing enough in the next 5 to 10 years that the Big 12 is the powerhouse conference in almost every sport. And it's just a magical thought. Like, the potential here is so crazy, so high through the roof that we're excited. This makes Big 12 fans all excited. Again, like I said, a lot of people don't like the idea of changing the name, but in this situation, it is necessary. And people are worried about having a name that's not good for the conference, that's just monetary based. And I don't think that's going to be exactly the case. I really think that Brett Yormark is going to try and negotiate something that is acceptable to the fans and the members of the conference, that everybody can agree on and everybody can get behind. I don't think we're just going to get the All-State Conference or anything like that. I think that we're going to get a name that pleases everybody involved in the Big 12. Just the way he's acted and everything he's done so far, Brett has been doing an amazing job lifting this conference up, bringing it to glory. This is going to be a powerhouse conference for years and years and years to come, no matter what the structure of the NCAA looks like, no matter what happens in the college football era, realignment and all that. The Big 12 is here to stay, and you better watch out because we are coming. We're gaining traction, and once we pick up that momentum, it's full steam ahead, and there ain't no stopping the Big 12 in this. One of the other things this is a personal one here, because Phillips 66 does a lot of advertising and branding with the Big 12. We could have some fun names with that. Name it the Big 66. Something like that. Who knows? There's a lot of really good names out there, and the potential is incredible. Just everything that can be done to make this conference stronger is being done. And he's going to explore all possibilities. I do not believe he's just going to talk to Allstate. I do not believe that just because Allstate's the first company that offers, I don't think it's going to go without negotiation and without him trying to get the best deal that he can possibly get with the most support financially that he can get for the Big 12. And it is absolutely amazing to see the job he is doing. We are so excited for the future of the Big 12 and all sports. And the Big 12 is a powerhouse conference, and it will be for years and years to come. No matter what the NCAA looks like in 10 years, the Big 12 will still be around. And I don't know, this is kind of a iffy thing for me, not for the conference, but for me. There's going to be talk when we're talking about the name and stuff that because we are no longer 12 members, that we're going to change the name to however many members we have at the time that this deal is done. But if we do that and we add, let's say, 4 more teams, so we go from 16 to 20, you can't just go out and be the Big 16 and then change it to the Big 20. That doesn't work. So I believe that the number may not stay with the Big 12, which is kind of sad because the Big 12 as a brand is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I also think, personally, that it would be worth exploring just naming it, like, if Allstate does get the rights, that they just name it the Allstate Big 12 Conference or something like that. There was one that was kind of funny, and I really like this one just because of the slogan, not because of the financial backing or anything like that. It's not likely. But oh my goodness, the slogan possibility here is phenomenal. I like this one more than any of the other ones. And like I said, it only has to do with the slogan. It has nothing to do with the revenue or the name or anything like that. But you know what Olive Garden's slogan is? When you're here, you're family. Does that not describe the Big 12 perfectly? I mean, honestly, we are one big happy family in the Big 12. And when you join us, you're family to us. And we will do everything we can to protect you and to make sure that you guys are doing great. You know, we love your fans. We love your teams. We love the growth of the Big 12. And we are a family. And I feel like that personally. I consider even KU fans. You know me, let's go State. I've got friends that are KU fans, and I love my friends that are KU fans. I love all of the Big 12 teams, even if their most vocal fans are sometimes unbearable. Which, if you've ever met a KU fan, there are some that are really, really tough to spend 5 minutes with, even. But I'll tell you what, we still love them because, and I'll tell you why. We love fans that are so passionate about it because they are. They care so much about their schools that they are willing to die on that hill to defend their schools. That's beautiful. That's what the Big 12 is all about. We are all family. So I really think that in terms of the slogan, I really think that Olive Garden with when you're here, your family slogan, I think that fits the Big 12 almost perfectly. Now, obviously, again, they don't have the financial stability that you would like to see, like Allstate and all these other companies that might have interest in it. But that's a fun one to think about. And that's all that's about. That's just fun. That's not, Olive Garden probably isn't going to be considered even. But I think that'd fit really, really well. And what about just adding family in the name of the conference? You know? Because we really are a big family, and we love every single one of our members. No matter how much they get on our nerves, we love each and every one of you Big 12 fans. No matter what, we love you guys. The Big 12 is special for that reason, because it doesn't matter who you root for or who you hate within the conference. When another conference starts attacking our teams, we band together and we go hard. We attack them back and we shut them down in a magical way. I will even defend KU to an SEC school fan or a Big Ten fan. If there's a Michigan fan that's talking trash on KU, even as a K-State diehard fan, I will defend KU just because of their involvement in the Big 12 and how special they make the Big 12. No matter what, no matter how their fans act sometimes, we're a family and we need to act like it. The potential for the Big 12 and its growth is absolutely insane. And we cannot wait to see what the future of the Big 12 holds for us as not only a conference in the NCAA, but for the whole future of college sports. What this could mean for college sports is incredible. And I applaud you, Brett, for going after anything and everything that you can possibly go after to make sure that the Big 12 is a powerhouse conference no matter what. You are doing an amazing job, and as Big 12 fans, we are so thankful to have a commissioner like Brett Yormark running the show. The possibilities are endless. The sky is the limit. We're here to stay. We're a freight train running down the tracks, and there ain't no slowing down for the Big 12. And again, the naming rights deal, it's not as much about the name as it is the revenue that we can spread to all of our schools. And it expands the possibility of adding more and more depth to this conference in terms of better schools. Not better schools than we have, because we already have the best schools in the nation in a lot of sports. We're competitive in every single sport no matter what. It's just the way the Big 12 is built, and that's a beautiful thing. The Big 12 is so special because of their aggressiveness and their willingness to fight to stay alive. It is absolutely amazing to see as fans. And it's going to lead us to these ACC schools. I honestly believe the ACC has slipped up enough and the Big 12 has gained enough momentum that by the end of the year, before football season starts next year, it will be announced that the Big 12 will be expanding through some of the biggest members of the ACC. Wouldn't that be incredible? Can you imagine if we added North Carolina and Duke? You know, just for the basketball season alone. Duke's making progress at football too. So, you know, they're not on the level that they used to be either. They're making progress and everything. But I mean, I'm just talking about basketball right here. In basketball, the Big 12 is already the toughest conference in the nation. We've got the best teams in the NCAA by far, top to bottom. When you compare our top team and our bottom team to the top team and the bottom team in the Big 10 and the SEC, the ACC, and literally any other conference, it's the best. It absolutely is the best. And it's a magical thing. If we added North Carolina and Duke, just those two schools in basketball, those are two teams that are going to play in the NCAA tournament almost every single year, no matter what. Again, that adds so much depth and strength to the conference that you cannot ignore the possibility of going after these teams. And Brett Yormark is doing such an amazing job of that. The sky is really the limit with him and his potential for adding these great teams. And if he gains that kind of traction, that kind of steam, even more, we pick up the pace even just a little bit more, there is a really, really, really good chance that Florida State joins the conference too. That would be absolutely amazing. If we could have Florida State in this, especially after their last season in football, getting snubbed from the college football playoffs, you think that might motivate them to want to join the Big 12 instead of the SEC or the Big 10? You betcha. You betcha. I absolutely think that there is a real possibility that Florida State could be a Big 12 member very, very soon. And again, I don't think we're days away. We're not moments away from learning any details of anything going on. Realignment, the naming rights deal. Brett Yormark is going to take his time and very, very, very carefully strategize the best way to go about this for the health of the Big 12 and what he can do to make sure that the Big 12 is the best conference in the nation in every single thing they do. It is absolutely incredible the things he is doing here. And again, the potential here is absolutely unreal. There is so much potential for them to add. Again, Florida State could be huge, huge for the Big 12. And it's not out of the question by any means. No matter what. until they officially announce they're joining the SEC or the Big Ten, it is not out of the question in any way, shape, or form that Florida State could be a member of the Big 12 in the future. And who knows? Who really honestly knows what's actually going to happen? But again, the possibilities are endless. And the family that we are building in the Big 12 should be very, very exciting for any team considering joining the Big 12. Who wouldn't want to be a part of a family like the Big 12, where everybody loves everybody? As Jackie Moon would say, everybody love everybody, ELE. And that's the mentality we have here in the Big 12. We're all family, even if we pick fights with our little cousins or our brothers, however you consider us. We're family, and we will defend our family until the day we die. And that's what makes the Big 12 so darn special. And we are so excited for the future of the Big 12 and just to see what things are on the horizon. The possibilities are insane. We could see the Big 12 become the conference in everything. Because we're not going after these scrap schools. We're not going after the smallest schools we can get, whatever they don't want. We're looking to be the conference. We're going for all of the good schools. It does not matter what. If you're a great school and are going to add great depth to this conference, we're looking at you. And you better be ready. Because when we make that move, it's going to be absolutely amazing. The expansion of the Big 12 itself is just a crazy thing from where we were when Texas and Oklahoma announced their departure to where we are now. I mean, years and years ago, we were talking about Texas joining the Pac-12. Well, as we saw, the Pac-12 isn't even in existence anymore. The Big 12 is a powerhouse conference. The Big 12 is here to stay. We are gaining so much momentum that very, very, very soon, there is going to be no stopping the Big 12 from becoming the best conference in the entire nation. And I honestly believe that. You know, the Big 12 is so special to not only its members, but its fans, you know, the athletic directors, the sports teams, the academics, you know. The Big 12 all around as a whole is so special that we are here to stay and we are making our mark. They did not put enough pressure on the Big 12 to slow us down. And Brett Yormark realizes that and is going to do an absolutely amazing job in everything that he can to make sure the Big 12 is the best conference in the nation. The Big 12 is here to stay, and you better get used to it because we're here and we're going to kick some butt. You better believe that. We aren't going to spend any more time discussing this because, as I mentioned before, you could literally spend days and days and days unpacking this because of the limitless possibilities that the Big 12 has here. I've had my fun with you. It's time to turn it over to Parker so he can give us our Kansas Athlete Spotlight presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. This is exciting. This is an exciting time for Big 12 sports. Man, it's exciting for all Kansas sports in general. We cannot wait to see what the future for Kansas sports holds. So, to bring us our Kansas Athlete Spotlight and whatever else news that he wants to bring, Parker, take it away, buddy.
What's going on, y'all? Parker here, back again with Tree City Sports. Glad to be back on here to give y'all our Kansas Athlete Spotlights of the Week presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. Thanks again to the guys at Arrowhead for sponsoring. We appreciate your guys' support. You don't know, it means the world to us. And again, if you guys need any energized teas or any drinks, go ahead and check out Arrowhead Nutrition. Great company, great group of guys that work there, and really appreciate the sponsorship there. But hopping into our first Kansas Spotlight Athlete of the Week, we have Molly Bourne from Shawnee Mission Northwest, who competes in track and field for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. She has a pretty lengthy list of accomplishments here. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's about 15 on here, but just to list her last season, 2023 academic first team All Big 12, 2023 outdoor second team All-American, 2024 outdoor All Big 12, 2023 indoor All Big 12. So those were her 2023 accomplishments, listed behind a lot more accomplishments in the previous 3 years. Hell of a career for Molly at Oklahoma State. Really cool to see the Kansas athletes go into other states, other Division I programs outside of Kansas, and make an impact like Molly has. It's really cool to see that Molly has ran 4 times in the 10,000 meter before her outdoor campaign. She earned a 3rd place finish in the Big 12 championship and all Big 12 honors. So again, crazy accomplishment there from Molly, and all of us back here in Kansas are rooting for you at Oklahoma State. Next, we have Madison Kohler on the K-State rowing team. She's from Shawnee Mission North High School in Kansas City, and her honors this season were 2023 All Big 12, 2022 Dr. Gerald Lodge Academic Achievement Award, and another 2022 Academic All Big 12 First Team, followed by Spring 2022 Big 12 Commissioner's Honor Roll. Hell of an accomplishment there by Madison. She had more accomplishments in the 2021 year. In 2021 to 2022, she earned her first varsity letter for rowing at K-State, and she has really helped the rowing team out a whole lot here at Kansas State, and we're glad to have her here at K-State. Go Cats! Our next Kansas Spotlight Athlete of the Week is Jordy Pierce out of Arkansas City. Jordy was a 3-sport athlete who excelled in basketball and football. In basketball, he played 39 games, averaged 5.4 a game, and 1.4 assists per game. His football career, he played 16 games, completed 215 of 401 pass attempts, and threw for 2,317 pass yards with 21 passing touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 106 yards on 73 rushing attempts. It was a really good season for Jordy in basketball and baseball. Congrats to him down in Ark City, and what a career that was for him at Ark City High School. Great accomplishments there, my friend, and keep up the good work. Next, this one hurts my soul a little bit to shout out, but John Riggins out of Centralia, Kansas, former KU football player and NFL Hall of Famer. He ran for 2,659 career yards at KU, second to only Gale Sayers at the time. He was a number 1 draft pick of the New York Jets in 1971. He rushed for 11,352 yards and 104 touchdowns in his 14 seasons in the NFL. Both marks rank around top 10 in the NFL history when he retired. Great accomplishment there by John. What a guy. How do you go to the NFL and play 14 years at that high of a level? I don't know. Hell of a accomplishment there. Like I said, he really proved that football in Kansas, guys do come out of here. It is a pretty good market for football here in Kansas now and back then. So it's really cool to see that we have an NFL Hall of Famer coming from the Kansas area, and hopefully we have a lot more to go. Also wanted to branch off our Athletes of the Week and say that Arrowhead Nutrition will now be open on Sundays, Jared said, so go ahead, go over there on Sundays if you need a drink, need to pick me up, anything, go ahead and head over to Arrowhead Nutrition. They're a great sponsor for us at Tree City, and we really appreciate their support and help. So yeah, go check out Arrowhead Nutrition again, and without further ado, let's get into the Coleman Hawkins news for K-State. So, forward Coleman Hawkins from Illinois, a 4-star out of the University of Illinois, like I said. He has decided to take his talents to Manhattan, Kansas, to the Tang Gang, and commit to the Kansas State Wildcats. So we're super excited to have you, Coleman. You know, the forward spot was really the last piece we needed for this transfer portal grab. Tang has done one heck of a job in the portal, has really got some talent. I think the team's going to look a lot better next year than they did this past season. I'm super excited to see what Tang can do with all the talent he's brought in. $2 million is a pretty big NIL deal, I will say, though. So hopefully he's worth it. Hopefully he's worth both millions. That's just crazy to think about. College players are millionaires now. So, yeah, appreciate Coleman for you coming to Manhattan, bringing on the Cats. Can't wait to watch you play, man, and hopefully tear up some KU players. So let's go Cats, and great pickup by Tang and the crew with Coleman Hawkins. Next we have Kinsley Bethune from Concordia High School. She was a starting shortstop since her freshman year. Her career stats are 37 games played, a 188 average, .366 OBP, 18 hits, 7 RBIs, and 25 runs scored. Congrats again to Kinsley for starting since she was a freshman. That's a great accomplishment. I know here at Manhattan High, when I played, we had a whole lot of upperclassmen that kind of blocked the opportunity for underclassmen to play on the varsity level. So that's cool for her to get to play as a freshman up on the varsity level. Obviously, she's got some talent in there and had a really good season this year. So good job, Kinsley. Our next Kansas Spotlight Athlete of the Week is McLean Finley, or McLean. I'm not sure how you say it. I think it's McLean, but he's out of Seaman High School in Topeka, Kansas. He was recruited by KCK to come pitch, and that he did, folks. This season he had 30 games started with an 18-4 win-loss record. He had 152 innings pitched, 126 strikeouts, 7.43 K per 9, gave up only 9 home runs with a 3.77 ERA and a 1.26 WHIP. One heck of a career there at KCK for McLean. McLean was committed to Indiana State to play this fall, but due to Mitch Hanna's taking the job at South Florida, Indiana State is searching for a new head coach, so McLean chose to open his commitment up again, and whatever program picks him up is going to get one hell of a pitcher, because that dude was first team all region for JUCO baseball, first team all Jayhawk conference. So one heck of a season and career in the Jayhawk conference for McLean, and really proven that the Jayhawk conference is on the rise in talent, and we got a lot of dudes coming out of there. Our last shout out is going to go to a couple players on the Ottawa Athletics. So first we have Ezzy McClendon, who hit 2 triples for the Athletics on Wednesday. Cohen Steele had 2 big hits and it made an awesome play to tag a runner out at third. Royal and Aiden Martinez both got hit by a pitch, each while playing catcher, and stayed in the whole entire game. Way to be tough, boys. Way to stick it out. And lastly, Oakley took a thrown ball off the top of the head and stayed in the game. So good job, Oakley. Way to tough it out. Way to keep going. Super proud of you boys for all the good work, and hope you keep it up. Keep winning ball games, having fun, and thanks again for having me on Tree City, Calvin. It was great to give you our Spotlights of the Week presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. And again, back to Calvin.
Thank you so much for that, Parker. It's so wonderful to have you join the show again. We are so glad to have you on. Thank you so much for giving us our Kansas Athlete Spotlight presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. Do not forget to go like and subscribe to all of their social pages. And again, do not forget to show some love to our friend Parker here. He's such an incredible young man, and we are so thankful to have him on the show. We've had a lot of fun today. I did anyway. I hope you guys did too. It's about time to wrap up. So, a huge shout out to AM Creations in Ottawa, Kansas for making our shirts. We love you guys. Thank you guys for everything you do. A huge shout out to RJN Photography. If you mention this show at the time of your booking, she'll give you 25% off. Wonderful, wonderful people, and we are so glad to support them. And more than anything, again, a huge shout out to Jared and his entire crew at Arrowhead Nutrition for everything that they have done for Tree City Sports. And we cannot wait for what the future holds, not only for Tree City Sports, but for sports in Kansas as a whole. We are excited for the future, and we cannot wait to see what happens next. Until next time, y'all take care now.